Previously on It's Just Two Movies.
Let me do that again. Yeah.
Which fucking gnat on my microphone.
So yeah, sorry, do that again.
Motherfucker.
Come on, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What was this movie called? Hang on.
How do you want to
No, what was the movie called? I don't.
All right. All right. I'm gonna...
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's Just Two Movies.
Welcome back to It's Just Two Movies. What we do here is we watch two movies, one good one, one bad one. We have some beers and some laughs while we do it. My name's Daniel King. With me here today is return guest Jackson.
Jackson in the house.
What's up, baby?
What's up? Cold beers and hard dicks.
Cold beers and hard dicks are up. So, what we normally do on the show is we switch off picking movies. And did I pick this one, or did you? I think I picked this one, right?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
Because it's been a few weeks, so I can't remember.
Yeah, we had a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
Stuff comes up, and then I had already watched the movie, so I still have my notes on it. But it has been a couple weeks since I actually watched it.
I watched it today, so I might be fresh.
You're super fresh. All right, so we landed on whoever picked it. American Hustle.
American Hustle, another hustle movie. This is the second hustle movie me and you did with the Color of Money.
Yeah. Well, didn't we do another? What was the other movie we watched? It seemed like there was like a hustle factor.
I don't know why I'm remembering like Team America.
That was the movie we watched with it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Not Team America.
And then
Super Force or whatever whatever the name
and then
of it was.
And then the fucking robot from the Burbs.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to look it up.
Oh, it's pretty bad. We watched Ex Machina. My bad. That's the one with the killer robot in the second one.
Yeah, that was Ex Machina. All right. Anyway, doesn't matter. If you're not here to hear about that. You're here to listen about American Hustle. American Hustle is a 2013 crime drama. 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 92% Rotten Tomatoes, 90 on Metacritic. This came out December 13th, 2013. Directed by David O. Russell. Produced by Charles Roven, Richard Suckle. Megan Ellison, Jonathan Gordon. It was nominated for a bunch of shit, and it won some awards in a bunch of shit. One of the most impressive things about this movie, I think, is the cast.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think...
How do you have a budget for that?
I have no idea. Star-studded is taking it pretty lightly. Amy Adams, Christian Bale, Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper, Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Roem, Jack Houston, Robert De Niro, Louis C.K., Shea Wiggum, and Michael Pena. And that's not even all of them.
It's not.
That's not even all of them. That's just most of the cast.
Who's the producer? He had to be like one pulling strings. I was like, I got a cast.
Charles Roven, Richard Suckle, or Megan Ellison, or Jonathan Gordon. One of those four.
So the guy's name is Dick Suckle.
The budget for this thing was $40 million, though.
And 2013, you said?
Yeah, 2013. $40 million. How much money do you think it made? Just in the box office. So this is not like, I don't think they count like DVD sales and shit for the box office.
I remember when it came out, I was like, man, they're really pushing hard on commercials and stuff. For whatever reason, I remember that. But I feel like it was a flop. I feel like $25 million.
$251.2 million.
Huh.
So not a flop, and we're not the only people that like it. This is just a good movie. I saw this shortly after it came out, or at least after it was available for rental. I watched it. I enjoyed it. And I haven't seen it since then. So I'm glad at least one of us brought it up, although I don't recall which one.
Maybe for me it was a flop because I didn't go see it. And then maybe I heard some, it's okay reviews. And I was like, I don't need to go watch that. I don't need to go out of my way to watch it.
I really, really like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It starts out in 1978.
I actually wondered the time frame. I was like, is this early 70s? So, like, because they throw some names out there, some presidents, and I'm trying to plot it. I'm like, it's in the 70s for sure.
Yeah, late 70s, getting ready to turn into the 80s. Everybody's still got the big hair and slick back and all that shit.
Yeah, it had some I love the. I mean, they really put you in the 70s feel. Like, you could tell it was a 70s movie. It wasn't over the top 70s of where you're, dancing, have these bell bottoms, nothing like that.
This is one of Christian Bale's great, body transformation. You know what I mean?
It is.
Because he's been, super skinny, and he's super fat.
He's in another Batman.
He's in another thing where he's fat, but he's, wearing a prosthesis, I think. He's playing like a politician. I don't remember what movie off the top of my head. It was good, though. Vice. That's the name of the movie. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. His dedication to the role of this sleazeball is great.
There's a few characters in any given movie, or not any movie, maybe a handful of movies that you look at and they're like, the movie was good, but man, I can't stop thinking about how this actor was on scene and took over the movie, even though he wasn't a big part of it.
Right. It's crazy. That's kind of what I was thinking about some of Jennifer Lawrence's stuff.
Yeah.
Because she's not in most of the movie, but when she is, she steals the show.
She does.
And we'll come back to that stuff. Anyway, for someone who hasn't seen this, has no idea what it is, since you watched it today and I watched it 3 to 4 weeks ago, tell me, spoiler free, what's this about?
So this is about a con couple getting pinched by the government and having to work their way out of that pinch and either be free or be pinned up. In a nutshell, I think. Yeah,
pretty good. They're put into a morally ambiguous situation because of their position with the police, the FBI. Excuse me. What's some stuff you liked about this? What kind of notes you got?
Oh, I got some.
We don't have to go through the whole thing. You can just talk about your favorite parts, favorite quotes.
I got some quotes in there. So Jennifer Lawrence. So one thing I really did notice on this movie, it's not like a love triangle. It's like every character is in a triangle of love.
right, of their own. It's like a love pentagram.
So I'm like, is that a 70s thing? Was that expected? Because they all acted like who's your girl on the side. Even the mayor dude was like, bring your wife. You got a girl you didn't tell me about? What's going on there?
Right. Yeah, it does kind of seem that way. I fucking love the soundtrack for this. It's got such a groovy, fat, funky soundtrack all the way through. It's just money.
And it's not over the top. This is definitely all my 70s greatest hits. It's subtle.
It's getting down on some Duke Ellington.
Yeah, Duke Ellington is the first person they bring up as listening to records. Just everything about the movie screamed, you're in the 70s.
Right.
They didn't miss a note on that.
Even their hustle kind of seemed like a 70s
hustle. 70s, because you're in, nowadays, you can look up information pretty quickly on whatever. Back then, you couldn't prove it right away, so you had to take whoever's in front of you talking, you had to take their word for oh, he's important.
Right. So the gist with their hustle is listen, I'll loan you $12,000 or whatever, but you have to give me $3,000 as a point of trust because I don't like loaning out money like this. They were pretending to be very wealthy people, and then they would say that their international connections overseas would not give the loan.
Yeah. So
for whatever reason.
They're loan sharks that don't loan money.
Yeah, exactly. They're loan sharks that don't loan money. They actually take your money first and then just don't loan you any money. You just come to them and give them money and they run away and say, ha, ha, ha.
Which is like, if that happened today and you got had for that, it's like, you're kind of
sucker.
Pretty stupid.
Right.
Really stupid.
Yeah.
In the 70s, as a new hustle probably, as you throw me a couple grand and I'll give you 20 grand in return at a decent interest rate because banks won't loan to you.
Mm-hmm. So they get busted, they get had or whatever,
Yep.
and then there's a really cool scene where Amy Adams is getting interrogated by Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, so every character in this movie has their own single hustle, and Bradley Cooper's hustle was, his FBI role, and he wanted to be a field agent and do all this crazy stuff.
He wanted to take all the criminals down at once.
Yeah. Boy Scout level stuff. And then he's in this scene, and he's...
Whoa, real quick. What about his perm, though?
The perm? The perm, the first thing I saw, I was like, what's going on there? Because he's in it, like...
in his curlers and stuff?
He's in, the bathroom, in his curlers, getting fixed up, and his fiance is yelling at him when he's on the phone. I'm like, what in the hell is in his hair? I'm like, that's a perm. But why is he doing that?
Yeah, right, yeah. He's got a fucking crazy haircut, and it's delightful. Anyway, you were saying about him interrogating...
Yeah, so his interrogation scene with Amy Adams, his own hustle was, all right, how can I get close enough to these con people to get them to trust me? So he's, going all out and saying, I like you,
Yeah.
He's like, he walks in, he's like, why did the fluorescent lights on? I specifically had this light in here for you. So he's playing the good cop in the whole scenario.
Right.
So that's his own little hustle right there, and him trying to get in there and get her to trust him and try to flip her against Christian Bale.
Right. So essentially he tells him, listen, you give me 4 cons to bust some bad guys and I'll fucking, I'll let you guys go.
Yeah, 4 busts. He's like 4 cons, 4 busts, and you guys free to go. Have you ever watched White Collar? That's like a USA TV show.
Is it older?
Yeah,
I think I have seen that.
It's like White Collar, and
just
then
probably in passing though.
Burn Notice? Burn Notice.
Oh, okay.
They run back to back, but this was kind of feels like a White Collar type of situation type of movie, but in the 70s. Anyway, I don't know why I thought of that. Christian Bale has his main girl in the movie is Amy Adams, who is the mistress, and then he has his wife back home, Jennifer Lawrence.
Right.
And you can see why he has a mistress, because Jennifer Lawrence is a certified nut in this movie.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Man, that's who I want to stay away from forever.
She is pretty wild. She's looking good though. This is like peak.
Yeah.
Peak Jennifer Lawrence.
I feel like she belongs in the 70s. Like, that's where you should stay.
Yeah, she looks great in that. For it being like a period piece.
Yeah.
She fits right at home in there. And she plays a really well acted character. Like, she's doing a really great job.
You don't like her, but it's like you don't like her because she's a bad actress. You don't like her because she's
a horrible person.
A horrible person in this movie.
Yeah.
So
there's a good period of this where I can't tell who's trying to screw who.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd say probably 40% of the movie, you have an idea, and that idea just kind of slowly evolves, and then you're like, I fucking
give up.
I could be wrong about all of this, and you might be.
Well, you give up because like everyone's a hustler. It's like, what hustle is going to win out here?
Everybody's hustling everybody in it.
So it's so when Christian Bale goes back and talks to Jennifer Lawrence in the bedroom, like. And you kind of get a picture of what their life is like.
Right.
And she holds things over Christian Bale. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
She plays these mind games on him. Like, well, you can't leave because I'll take, divorce is not a thing in the 70s. I'll take the kid. You don't want that. He adopted the kid.
Right. Exactly.
And she's like just holding everything over him. He's like,
so that's her hustle.
That is her hustle.
That's her bit of blackmail that she's got going for her.
And she knows has a mistress.
Yeah.
Like,
she's not thrilled about it, but she's not burning down the house or anything.
She's like, just don't leave me. Basically, he's like, I'll let you go when I put my claws into somebody else.
There's a bit alcohol trivia for this. There's a bit where they're having a dinner party. You know what I'm talking about? Like the first dinner party they go to. No, they're at like a restaurant. It's not a dinner party.
No,
it's
with
like
Christian Bale and
a
Renner.
dinner date. Yeah, that. So while they're doing that, I think what they're drinking there is Harvey Wallbangers.
Oh.
I didn't research it, but a Harvey Wallbanger is the only cocktail I have ever had that has Galliano in it, which is like an Italian citrus liqueur.
That would make sense for that.
Yeah.
Because
Harvey Wallbanger.
Because Jeremy Renner in that is heavy Italian. I think he's Italian. He's got those mob connections.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that would make sense. By the way, talking about people who steal the show, Renner, I mean, every actor in this movie steals the show in their own way.
He's such a quiet, soft badass.
Yeah. He's like, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, he comes from a nice place, but he's like,
he is morally trying to do the right thing by everyone. He's trying his best.
On the low, he's like morally like, I'll do this for that if it makes my nice part go up.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because that's his end result that he wants. He's trying to do the right thing.
So, he's working with the mob and all that. He's still the show like when you're like, I'm into like this scene because
Jeremy
Renner's on. He's convincing as a mayor, a likable mayor character.
Oh, hell yeah, with his big pompadour haircut.
Yeah, it's like, I believe that.
And then when Jennifer Lawrence is on screen, she's just a drunken, slutty mess.
Yeah.
She's just flirting with every pair of pants in the room.
And then Christian Bale, you're always watching him.
Yeah.
He's been in a few movies like that. Have you ever watched the movie where he was, what was the movie? The Fighter, or his brother's a boxer? I don't remember the movie. I remember his acting.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal's brother in the movie?
Something like that.
I think so.
He's like a druggy, up.
He's really awesome in Ford versus Ferrari, too, if you haven't seen that.
Yes, I have seen that.
The movie's great. We're going to do it on the show someday, though, so I won't talk about that.
But just when you take over scenes like that in a movie, it's impressive. But in this movie, they were all bad. It's like a battle royale for taking over scenes.
Yeah. Well, I think one of my favorite bits in the whole movie is the guy, it's like Bradley Cooper's boss. I think it's played by
Louis C.K.
Anyway, he's like, let me tell you, did I ever tell you the ice fishing story?
He tried many times.
It has a moral to it. And Bradley Cooper's like, no, tell me the ice fishing story.
Did we ever get an answer to it?
No.
Damn it.
Wait, maybe you did. If he did, I wrote it down, but it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I watched this.
I just watched it. I was following that because I remember I was like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like in this movie, it's like, because Bradley Cooper keeps going back to Louis C.K.
Bradley Cooper never lets him finish the story. He asked him like 3 more times, like, all right, finish the ice fishing story.
Yeah.
And he's like, I ain't got fucking... Because all he would need would be 5 minutes to just stop and listen.
Well, he's on coke too the whole time.
Oh, everybody's on coke. Everybody's coked out, I'm pretty sure.
And he's like, hey, Louis C.K. will start telling the story, gets to a certain point, and he's like, oh, he fell in the ice and he drowned.
Yeah.
And Louis C.K.'s, no, that's not what happened.
Yep.
And he does this 3 or 4 times. So that tells you something about the character of Bradley Cooper. It's like, well, I'll come to my own conclusion. I'll figure it out.
Well, I wondered if it was some sort of like metaphor for Bradley Cooper's like his impatience and his inference, the way he thinks he knows what's about to happen.
He his character is egotistical to the point that he thinks that he knows what's going to end up happening if he takes this route.
Right. Yeah.
A specific route. I know that's what's going to end up happening, but it doesn't happen. And in this movie, it doesn't happen for me either.
I wrote down Michael Pena for the win, but I don't remember what he does in it.
Michael Pena's in here?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the Sheik. I forgot. He's the FBI Sheik.
Oh my God, he's hilarious. And he just like...
the Sheik character in general.
He just knows Arabic. Like he comes in, he like doesn't say anything about it. and they're like pressuring him, and all of a sudden the guy starts speaking. Is it Arabic?
No, it gets crazy because like they're in this scene where with Robert De Niro. I don't know if you mentioned he was in the movie.
Yeah. Old De Niro's in this. He's a mobster. Surprise.
Yeah, De Niro's this big mobster, and they have this backroom scene, and they're all sitting around the table. What they're trying to get at is a mutual connection, but to build casinos in Atlantic City with money from the sheik who is from the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole gist of it. And the mob is involved, and De Niro is the big guy at the table.
Right.
And then Michael Pena's in there as the sheik. And from the get,
Michael Pena's an FBI agent. But
he's an FBI agent.
They dress him up to play the part of the sheik.
And the funny part of that is Christian Bale is mad that he didn't use his own guy. He's like, where's my guy from Queens? He's feet up. Like, it's like, I need it from, I need an actual con man. I don't need an FBI guy in here. But Michael Pena is the guy in that position. So he's the sheik. He's got, the full white dress stuff, however they dress.
Yeah, he still doesn't look convincing to me.
Well,
maybe it's because I just know it's Michael Pena.
On the plane, he goes, bro, I'm from Arizona. He's like, I'm not Arabic. Like, cause Christian Bale's like, he doesn't even look Arabian or I don't know, something.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like, I'm from Arizona. I'm Mexican. No, he says, I'm from Arizona. I'm Mexican. He's like, oh, well, that doesn't help.
Right. So anyway, De Niro starts fucking grilling him and starts speaking to him in whatever native tongue the sheik is supposed to have. And Pena just sits there for a while. He's like,
it's very uncomfortable.
Just grilling.
It's like
just grilling De Niro with his eyes. It's getting real tense in the room. And then he just starts fucking spouting it like he knew it the whole time and was just making everybody tense.
Yeah, so De Niro comes out of nowhere, like 3/4 of the way through this meeting, and starts speaking Arabic or whatever language. And everyone's like, holy shit, he's talking. Because they don't expect anyone to know what the sheik knows or how he can talk. But he starts talking and asking him questions like, is this for real, man? Do you trust me? All these questions that are like kind of some powerful questions that Pena is like beforehand on the meeting. He's like, I know 1 or 2 sentences in Arabic. So he's sitting there sweating because he's like, if I don't answer these questions... And he's talking a language I have no idea what he's saying.
He's like, gonna kill everybody in the room.
Yeah, it's like if you were to like look at me and say, "I know a couple Spanish phrases," and you started speaking full Spanish to me, I would be like, "What are you saying, dude? Like you're making me uncomfortable."
Oh yeah.
So that's De Niro's role here. He's like, "I'm gonna start speaking."
And De Niro's in it for what, 5 minutes?
Yeah. 5
minutes, maybe. There is not one half-ass performance in this movie.
No.
They're all fucking top shelf.
Yeah. Every single one of them.
I actually think this might be Bradley Cooper's second best role ever.
It's tough. Yeah.
It's at least his top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah, for certain.
Oh, how that scene ended. They had a guy bump into the table where Michael Pena wasn't on the hook anymore and like stopped the conversation.
Oh yeah.
And then Pena comes back and says his 4 sentences that he knows, like, we'll do business.
Yeah.
It's real or something.
That's a really good scene. Like, it's well shot, it's well written. It's fucking.
You get
it's
a bunch
of dudes at a table, and it gets real tense, real fast.
You don't expect the tenseness either. It feels comfortable at first. You can see Christian Bale getting a little nervous. He's like, "Let's not do that." Like, and then De Niro like calls him out. Like, "What do you mean? Let's not do that."
Well, there's a bit where Jennifer Lawrence is just like spilling her guts out to a gangster guy, telling him the whole jig, and pretty much she lets something slip in front of somebody she shouldn't let it slip.
So that's another mind game. She lets it slip on purpose because she knows he's going to go kill her husband.
Yeah, because they're in this weird trifecta love triangle.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
And then when Christian Bale comes back. So this guy goes and like puts Christian Bale a bag over his head and puts a gun to his head, and he gets back and talks to Jennifer Lawrence, and he's like, "You just tried to have me killed." She's like, "No, I didn't." And then the whole conversation ends up being she planned for Christian Bale's plan, his own con, to work out the way it's
Right.
going to work out. And she's like, I came up with that plan, and I knew you work best under pressure. It's like, what the fuck is that?
So she just floated him out so he'd get it done. So Bradley Cooper gets his bust. The old Chris Chinbale double cross.
Oh, one thing in this movie, when Carmine or Jeremy Renner, like him and Christian Bale have this night out and have good time and all that, like the next day or whatever, he's like, man, I like you. And he gives him a microwave.
I forgot about the microwave thing. Yeah.
And so he gives him a microwave. He's like, what is it? He's like, just explaining the microwave.
Because the microwave's so new, it's not a household appliance.
I was like,
yet.
holy shit, that is such a hilarious like conversation that that was an actual conversation in the 1970s that we're probably having about technology today.
That could equate to that. Yeah.
It could easily. And like his last sentence is like, don't put metal in the microwave. Or he's like, the science oven.
Yeah. 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 So he takes it home and he gives it to Jennifer Lawrence, and she's like, what the hell is that? And he's like, it's a science oven. Cook a turkey in it in like 5 minutes or
and
whatever.
She's totally against it. She goes, I read an article where the microwave takes the nutrition out of the food.
What's the fucking thing she puts in there? It's like the first thing she puts in the microwave and it blows up.
Yeah, is
it like Jiffy Pop or something?
It was something, but it broke Christian Bale's heart. He's like, that was a gift from a friend.
From the nicest guy.
From the nicest con artist I know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he really liked Renner.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Well, what's not to like about him?
And he felt so bad during the whole con because he's like, he knew he was setting up this guy. He's like, man, you're just a better con than I am at a higher level or whatever.
Right.
And I'm setting you up. And he's like, you can tell he feels bad the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, this sucks.
Doesn't make me fuck this guy over so I don't go to prison. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a genuinely, I mean, he is a con man, but he's a good dude.
He's a politic.
Yeah, he's a politician, you know?
But he doesn't have, like, the real dirt undertones. It's just, he's clean. He really wants to do what's good for his community.
Mm-hmm.
But if he has to take some dirty money, he'll take it. But he's not, his hands are clean. Good quote about Jennifer Lawrence in this movie. Christian Bale says, she's the Picasso of passive-aggressive karate. And I was like, yeah. Once you watch the whole movie and you're like, the Picasso passive-aggressive karate. Yeah, that's exactly what she is.
Yeah, I get that. She's hard to nail down. You know what I mean?
But that nailed her.
Yeah.
Like, yep, that's it.
That did it.
So that was a good quote.
I don't want to spoil the ending. It's a great movie. It really is worth a watch. I know it's a little bit on the older side. It's a lot of fun. All the characters are super interesting. If you had to rate this thumb in like thumbs that were wearing like a lot of gold jewelry, how many gold jewelry thumbs up would you give this out of 10 possible gold thumbs up?
So I'm going to compare it against another movie. So I'm going to put the other movie at a little higher. So I'm going to put this one at 9.25.
That's exactly what I'm
comparing it against Catch Me If You Can. Same type of movie. Con man gets pinched and he's trying to get out of it the whole time. I like Catch Me If You Can a little better. It's a longer movie, I think.
I like all the different flavors of Hustle.
Hustle has.
I mean, it's all kind of the same, but the identity part of it is an added layer that's really fun.
Yeah, they play on the identity. They play on.
And Tom Hanks tells two guys to go fuck themselves.
In which movie?
And he's like, "You want to hear a joke?" He's like, "Yeah, I'd love to hear you tell a joke." Go fuck yourself. In Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah. We got to about the middle of the movie and I stopped writing shit.
That's all good. I mean, we're about at time anyway.
Okay.
Like, did you want to wrap up that thought though?
Which thought?
The one where you were like, "Oh shit, I'm comparing it to another movie, Catch Me If You Can."
Oh.
And then I interjected with the Tom Hanks tells people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. So comparing it to Catch Me If You Can, they're both con movies where they're the protagonist is a con and trying to get out of this situation with the feds. And I feel like I've probably seen Catch Me If You Can a bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're both con movies and they're both movies that The con is they hustle with confidence and knowing that the other person doesn't have the knowledge in front of them to back it up.
Right. Yeah. What's con man is short for confidence man?
I didn't know that. Is that real?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Holy
That's
shit.
what con man is short for. It's confidence man.
I need to be a con man.
There you go.
I think I am a con man. Shit.
Or is it short for confidence man? I was pretty confident about it. Who knows? No, it is though. Google it. So that's we're gonna wrap it up there for American Hustle. It was fantastic, a lot of fun. Highly recommend. That's a 93% thumb on the Thumbo scale.
The thumb master.
Scale. Yeah, the Thumbo scale. We got another movie we're gonna watch. This was actually a listener recommend, but it is a crime movie. It's called Spaghettiman.
Spaghettiman, crime movie.
Welcome back to Channel 66. I'm Ian Scottsfield Stone, and I'm now going to take it to John Boy Stitchmeyer in the field. John, you're in the field where it appears that a Nazi slaps a cop with his colostomy bag in Kid Rock's steakhouse.
That's correct, Tim. Or what was your name?
Carol.
Carol? That's right, Carol. I'm John, and yeah, that's absolutely true. There was a Nazi here that slapped a cop with a colostomy bag, and we're here in Kid Rock's steakhouse, and let me tell you, it's not the only thing that's a cowboy baby. Now you might see the steakhouse off the I-95, and might know it by its signature cheeky slogans on the yellow arrow sign with the changeable lettering.
Yes, ba with a ba.
Of course, yeah, ba with a ba. And to bang, diggy diggy.
Diggy said up. Tommy, what is the scene like there at the ba with a ba?
Well, let's just say that the steak
Steakhouse.
coming out of the kitchen isn't the only shit all over the place. It's a real gross down here. That's why you can tell I've got this hazmat suit on. Cleanup crews estimate that the restaurant will be open again in 6 minutes.
Oh, I think that would give me enough time to make my way down there.
That sounds great, Tom. Could you pick me up?
I'll see what I can do, Jennifer.
Oh, we'll ride sunset with a bottle of Pex. Back to you, Diane.
Thanks, Blart. And that'll about do it for us here at Channel 89. We hope you have a great evening and stay frosty.
News. Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his latest project at suns.bandcamp.com. That is sunds.bandcamp.com. Thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our artwork. Please check out more of their stuff on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. First time listener, we're anywhere podcasts are found, but if you don't subscribe to any of those services, listen to the show for free on our website. It's just the number 2, movies.buzzsprout.com. That's it's just 2movies.buzzsprout.com. Want to get in touch with the show? Email us at itsjust2movies@gmail.com or find us on Twitter or Instagram at itsjust2movies. Want to support the show? Great. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe on whatever platform tickles your fancy. So, anyway, back to the show. Back, baby. We watched fucking Spaghettiman. Let me tell you.
Spaghettiman.
Justice is served al dente, which is the line they didn't use.
Justice was served as a court reference.
Yeah. I like Spaghettiman. I'm gonna say right up top, I like this a lot. I had a lot of fun with this. I thought this was a good jab at the superhero genre. I just had a lot of fun with this. Like for a super low budget film, this was cool. This was cool, and it was funny, and it was interesting to watch. That being said, I do have notes, but this is a home run.
This for a bad movie is hilarious. It's a bad movie, but it is but it's it's one of those movies that I don't know how to explain it. It's it's a knockoff superhero type movie that picks at superhero movies.
Right.
But
it's a scary movie.
Yeah, a scary movie of superhero movies.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
More low budget and with nobody you've ever heard of before.
It's so low budget, I don't think they use spaghetti noodles. I think they use bowls of ramen.
No, those are for real. They used 45 pounds of spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, it was ramen.
Movie.
It was ramen. They're just throwing bowls of ramen at people.
Anyway, we'll intro this real quick. Spaghettiman is a 2016 action crime film. Hour 27-minute runtime. There's our connection. They're both crime movies. That's about as slim as
close as we can get it.
Yeah, but it's about as close as you can get it. That ain't no shit. It's got a 5.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 61 on Rotten Tomatoes. What'd you say the Metascore was?
There was like a 7.3 out there. I was like, IMBD.
An apathetic man becomes a superhero with the power of spaghetti after his microwave malfunctions. And he's kind of a shit bum, but he wants people to pay him for his heroic acts. That's pretty much what's going on.
Oh, he's definitely a shit bum. Like he's a homeless person basically.
Stars Brand Rackley, Joe LaCicero, Ben Crutcher.
Nobody's gonna know any of these names because I didn't know any of the faces. So
Ben Crutcher, Winston Carter, Leigh Wolf, Nathan Claywood, Kevin M. Brenham, and there's a couple others, but unless you're super into independent films and these guys have been in anything else, you probably don't know who they are. I don't think I even knew any of them as, oh yeah, that's that guy from that other thing.
Yeah, there's none of that. I was looking for faces. I was like, nope, don't know that one. Nope.
It's directed by Mark Potts. So... I like to change up the format. So let's go ahead and do this up top.
Okay.
You know how we do our weird rating system and we do as a regular movie and as a bad movie?
I feel this is like a test for me. Every time I come here, I'm like, I feel like I failed my test.
Don't even worry about it. I think we're just going to drop the as a good movie.
No, I want to do both of them. Let's do the test. I want the test.
I think we're going to drop, as far as official scoring goes, we're only going to score the bad movies as bad movies.
What does that mean?
Moving forward. So bad movie is like something when you're like, do I want to watch The Departed or do I want to watch something silly?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
silly genre.
So bad it's silly. Or it's making fun of itself because it knows it doesn't have the budget for its ambition.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that makes
we're
sense.
just rating it as that. Like, for instance, bad movies. Okay. All right. When you and I watched that poker movie with was Chris Evans in it?
Ving Rhames
was in it. Yeah. That movie.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Okay. Yeah. Freddie Prinze Jr. That's what it was. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Ving Rhames, whatever that movie was called.
That was a fucking terrible movie.
It was awful, right?
It was Kingpin
it was not good, and it was not fun to watch. Spaghettiman, I would argue, is not that great, but is super fun to watch.
Yeah, not a great movie.
So,
but
as a bad movie that you enjoy, like it's not good. It's not The Departed. It's not... you know what I mean? Like it's not an Academy Award film. It's just...
How entertained are you?
How entertained are you on a scale of 1 to 10 thumb-shaped spaghetti noodles?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Are you gonna give it a 6?
6.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Damn. I'm always off on that. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're free to think whatever you think. If you're like a movie fucking blued, I wish I had the last hour and a half of my life back.
No, I thought it was a good... I laughed a lot. You heard me laughing my ass off over there.
What was your score?
6.
6? Okay.
I feel a solid 6, but I have my gauge of my bad movies is terrible, so...
What's the worst movie you ever watched that was so bad you just laughed your ass off the entire time you watched it?
Oh, I thought you said... Well, I know the worst movie I've ever watched.
What is it?
I think it's Rubber.
Rubber? Did you have fun watching it?
No, I hated it.
Okay.
I got like 3/4 of the way through it, and I was like, I'm pissed that I'm watching it, but I have to watch it. I have to watch it the rest of the way.
I liked Rubber. I could not stop laughing.
I hated every second that it was on, and I was like, it was like you get a quarter into the movie and you're like kind of hooked just because you're kind of pissed that you're watching it. Then I got halfway through and I was really pissed I was watching. I was like, all right, well, I can either stop here or keep going. I kept going. And, at that point, you're committed. And for me, Rubber's like a fucking terrible fucking movie. I was so mad that I wasted an hour and a half or whatever watching it. I was at a friend's house. I left. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Fuck you. You made me watch that shit.
No, I liked Rubber. I thought it was a clever idea for a story, and the fact that they chose to make it a tire just fucking cracked me up constantly. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about fucking this other shit show. I loved it. I was in love with this fucking thing. So Spaghettiman, we already introed all of it. He's kind of a shit bum. He eats, microwave malfunction spaghetti, gives him spaghetti powers.
Yeah,
he's peeing spaghetti. He's sneezing spaghetti. He's shooting spaghetti out of his hands.
He gets his superpower moment where he puts spaghetti in the microwave and goes lays down on the couch as a bum.
He kind of has a Tobey Maguire and then Spider-Man Origins film thing going on, but he's a shit bum, so he goes to a doctor.
Yeah, he's a bum, but he goes to so he wakes up 4 days later and pisses spaghetti. He's like, "Oh, this is wrong. This is weird." And then he goes to a doctor, but he doesn't go to a real doctor. He goes to a marijuana doctor.
Right, yeah.
He's like, do you not see what kind of doctor I am, man? He's like, you're pissing spaghetti. What do you expect me to diagnose you with? He's like, you got anxiety? I got some weed, bro.
Right, yeah, I'll prescribe you some. He's like, did you prescribe me weed? He's like, yeah, did you see my diploma?
Diploma, yeah.
It's just got a big pot leaf on it. And he's like, I don't need a weed. I need to stop pissing spaghetti.
It's like, bro, you're on acid or something. You're thinking, I think you piss spaghetti?
So we got Spaghettiman. And he's broke. He's poor. He fucking sucks. He lost his job. He never had no girlfriend. He's very unkempt looking.
Very young. Like, he looks like he's straight out of the streets of Portland off a tent.
He gets spaghetti powers, and one day he decides to put a bag on his head while somebody's getting mugged, and he saves them. And then he's like, hey, you can pay me for saving you. So the guy gives him like $42, and that's it. That's his origin story. So he fights crime with a paper bag on his head, shooting spaghetti, and like being like, look, I can let this robbery go on.
Yeah, homeboy.
Or you can pay me how much, though, and then I can stop this robbery.
Yeah, homeboy's broke. He's living on the streets.
He asks everybody for soup.
Yeah, well, his first... So, he goes into he's like, how can I make money off these powers? I mean, he just shoots spaghetti. Like, it's weird.
He shoots it really fast, evidently.
And he doesn't really know how to do it either.
Fast enough to break a man's ankle.
Break an ankle at some point. But he's trying to make money off of it, and he goes, I can't give away who my identity is, because his roommate is like a cop, or wannabe cop. He's trying to be a cop.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's some plot to it that kind of follows. It's kind of nice to follow for a bad movie. But one of his first things he tries to do to make money was advertise on Craigslist. He's like, save a puppy from, I don't know, save a puppy, $50. He's like, no, $50 is not enough. And then like he gets one, I don't know how much it's for, but like this girl's boyfriend or something is being like ransomed, like kidnapped. I don't know, it's like $500 maybe. I have no idea. I forgot halfway through. But $500 was a lot to that dude.
Yeah,
that's like 2 months rent.
People are paying him a good chunk of change to just like throw spaghetti a lot of times.
Yeah, like he will like save the day for somebody, then say, you owe me money.
He's not like altruism is not in his vocabulary.
No, he's like, you owe me money. I saved the day, but you owe me a percent of that day.
He's only doing this because his roommate put the idea in his head.
He did.
And he's like, oh, you could be a superhero and help people. And he's like, yeah, you think I can make money for that? And he's like, well, yeah, sure. But that's not why superheroes do it. They do it because it's right.
Yeah.
And he didn't hear that second part.
No.
So he just started flinging spaghetti on bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, his roommate.
When he gets shot.
Yeah.
When he gets shot in the gut. The bullet goes in him. Spaghetti comes out the other end.
Backside. It's like,
and then he looks at his tummy and there's no wound.
He just raises up his shirt. He's like, no wound there. Just spaghetti out the backside. I'm good.
So at first you're like, so the guy can kind of throw spaghetti. Whoop-de-doo. But he's fucking bulletproof.
Is he made of spaghetti at this point?
He
like
was
under the
beaten.
flesh?
Look,
is it just spaghetti?
At the end of the movie, they beat him to death. They beat him into a pile of spaghetti, and then he just reforms back into a man.
So he's a spaghetti man.
Yeah, he's Spaghetti Man. You couldn't call him anything else. That's his name.
Oh,
but
man.
he can like glue people's legs to the floor with spaghetti. He can knock people out with spaghetti. He can break your fucking legs with spaghetti.
He tied this one girl's hands together spaghetti. Yeah, she couldn't break them.
No, he handcuffed a lady with spaghetti.
But then she started biting on him when she was running away. She's like, I got this.
There was another dude.
It's fucking spaghetti.
He shot a dry spaghetti noodle right through one dude's fucking brain.
Yeah, the end of the movie where he I think it's the end. It's close to the end. Well, he gets stomped to death and comes back to life because he's spaghetti. So the dude's like stomping on a spaghetti head, and it's just spaghetti. And it's just noodles. And then lightning and thunder or something happens. And I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, it was just spaghetti style.
And then he pops up. Noodle straight.
Dry noodle. Right.
Dry noodle. One noodle.
Right through the dome.
I'm not even sure if that would kill a person.
Crybabies go home.
Like, would one dry spaghetti noodle kill somebody?
Could you get it through? I don't know if you could get it through a skull. Maybe up
you ever seen those tornado videos?
Maybe through the soft palate. You know what I'm saying?
You ever seen those tornado videos of where things end up after the fact?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you can get a spaghetti through somebody's head,
like a piece of glass flying like 84 miles or whatever.
Or just like
fucking Kansas. You ever been to Kansas?
No.
I get it. I lost a hat in Kansas one time. I went outside for a smoke. I had my hat on. The wind blew my hat off, and it was fucking 600 yards away in seconds.
I've avoided Kansas as a plague.
It's probably a good call.
I never go through Kansas. I always go north or south.
If you live in Kansas and you listen to this, write us at usjust2movies@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram at usjust2movies. I would love to know if you live in a place in Kansas that is not
terrible.
Directly from the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy's OG house, where she's just out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Or
wheat. If you have more than wheat and wind, I would love to hear from you, because every place I've ever been in Kansas is just wheat and wind.
Or just let us know what's fun. Like riding through cornfields, it can't be that fun. I'm sorry. But what else, in Kansas? What else you got? What you got going?
I don't know.
Nothing. I'm sorry.
I've never been to Wichita, though. Wichita might be banging. I don't know.
Nah, it ain't.
You don't think so?
I'm sorry.
So we had fun with this. If you were going to recast some of this, or what would you change about this? Mine would mostly just be recasts and budget related.
Yeah. So what would I change on this movie? Okay, so definitely had fun with the movie. I laughed twice as much as Danny laughed. But I would definitely up the budget, because there's some things in there. It's like, come on, you're not really, like, you could have done this in a better way with just a little more money if you'd have put a little more effort. Like, part of the movie was effort. I feel like you're the the protagonist in the movie, like directing the movie. Like, this is all the money I have.
Right. Yeah.
So up the budget like $500. I have no idea what it took to make this movie, but it didn't take much.
I would have went, like, I mean, If this was my movie and I could get the backing for it, I just would have absolutely made sure we had more funding for it. Yeah. Because with the smallest amount of CGI, this could have been fucking huge.
Could have been solid.
With just marketing and the smallest amount of special effects.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't have, and you wouldn't have had to change shit else. Maybe, all right, no, I retract. Gotta spend some money on the rights to the soundtrack.
I don't even remember the soundtrack.
Well, here's what I remember about the soundtrack is all the songs on the soundtrack are royalty-free knockoffs of very famous songs.
Right.
So either get those or do something different altogether.
Yeah.
That's a bit that's a bit abrasive.
There definitely could have been a different
I'm splitting hairs,
soundtrack on the movie. Like
yeah.
I agree. The soundtrack could have made it a lot better.
Yeah,
like it just like in certain scenes where you're kind of just like I'm kind of bored now. Like a good soundtrack phases you through those type of scenes.
Yeah,
like where it's maybe slow, maybe.
Well, there's one where they're very clearly knocking off "Hero" by Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
just a royalty-free version of it that's different, but
it's like
also
a karaoke version or some shit.
Yeah, not even that. Like they change a couple of notes in it, but that's what they're going for. Just get the money for that if that's what you want to do. I don't care what music you put to it, but don't give me almost the thing I know.
It's a good song because it's a good song.
Yeah.
Don't cheap out on that.
I wonder if it's the way that it's framed that made the soundtrack so much more noticeable to me. But that is one thing that really stuck out a lot. There are a couple of directorial choices where there's dead air that's a little longer than it ought to be.
I agree. There's a lot of dead air in a couple areas.
I don't even know that I would really do that much recasting. If I did pick two that I think would be funny, but it would be to make both of those guys older, I'd get Brett Gelman to play Spaghettiman. He's in Lemon, Fleabag, Stranger Things, Eagleheart, the other guys. He's in all kinds of shit. He's like that guy.
Right.
It's this dude.
Yeah, and
I would get him as Spaghettiman.
He fits the personality, or not the personality, but
the look sure.
of the guy that's the main figure. Because the dude,
but I really don't care to replace him.
No, not really. He's like he did well. He did fine.
I thought he was great in this, man. The Ben Crutcher. Ben Crutcher, I thought was fucking great in this, man. He was actually the best part of this movie, but also because he's the focal point of the movie, it works out. That's the guy that played Spaghettiman.
Right.
He was great. If I did have to replace him, that's who I'd replace him with. If I would like to replace his roommate, but the only person I could think that would fit the profile properly would be like a Vincent D'Onofrio, but Vincent D'Onofrio is clearly much older.
Yeah, much older
than Ben Crutcher, so
yeah, my thought was this is a funny movie. For me it wasn't meant to be serious. If it meant to be serious, you guys fucked up. So
right, no, it's not meant to be serious.
I thought my recast for the main...
It's satire. It's like a satire crime superhero.
So if they were to up the budget and, put a little more effort into it, I'd cast Michael Cera as the...
as Spaghettiman?
As Spaghettiman.
Who would you get as his roommate?
That's a good question. Man, I don't want to say Jonah Hill, but you could probably put him in there.
You probably could do Jonah Hill. Oh, shit. You know what would actually wind
That would
up
make it
good?
Funny as shit.
Franco would be good.
Yeah, he would.
Well, they're buddies. He would be a good, he's the cop that just can't
and he knows how to play a bad guy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he could do it.
Yeah, Franco would be a good pick for that.
Yeah, so, you have Michael Cera and Franco in the same movie?
You could do that. Or alternatively, Will Arnett.
I'm not sure.
Will Arnett is Spaghettiman. Just kind of like hobo him up.
Play off of. Oh, yeah.
He's in all kinds of shit, man. He's in Let's Go to Prison. He's in Arrested Development. He's fantastic in Arrested Development. He's the voice actor for BoJack Horseman.
He looks like the younger version of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's
That's
putting
what
off
I just saw there.
that Bob Odenkirk vibe.
That's what I just saw right there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He is kind of putting off that Bob Odenkirk vibe.
Spaghettiman, though, a solid bad movie. Like, if you want to have a good laugh.
Well, I had a fucking blast with it. There's a quick post credit where they tease about like Spaghettiman will be back in fucking Avengers or Justice League, whichever one will pay.
Who will pay? Because that's the whole story of the movie.
Right, that's the guy.
I will.
I'll give you Spaghettiman.
Do good things if you pay me money to do it.
Now,
and if you don't pay me, I guess I'll just walk away. I don't know.
Now, I know that I don't know if do you read a lot of comic books or no? You're mainly like anime, right?
Yeah, I don't read a lot of comic books. I read too much other shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so anime.
Who do you think Spaghettiman could take? Like his character. Just imagine him as a comic book character. Think about his properties and powers. Who do you think he could take out from an anime series that people might know? I tell you this, with no small amount of cunning, he could take out Batman, but he's too stupid to take out Batman.
He's way too stupid.
He's
he
too
did a job interview
for Batman.
Bro, he did a job interview.
He wrote it all down on Sharpie on a piece of notebook paper that still had the frills on it.
Yeah, it had the frills, and then he even asked for a Sharpie later in the interview. He's like, "Let me write down my reference."
Yeah, he's like, write down my references.
Nah, that's not gonna work. He's way too stupid to take on Batman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man, who could he go up against? Let's see.
I wonder if he can breathe underwater.
No, well, he's spaghetti.
Right?
He can get boiled to death.
He's spaghetti through and through. He's kind of got Spider-Man skills.
Like, what if he just got really instead of a hot tub, he just got boiled, right? Yeah. So everything is just noodles. And then he came back and he's like, I feel refreshed. Maybe that's what Spaghettiman means. I have no idea.
I don't know. He's got really bizarre power set. But it also is super useful that you can't fucking shoot him. You can't shoot him. You can't crush him to death, or beat him to death. That's impossible.
He's annoyingly broke in every fashion in front of you. In front of you, he's annoyingly broke financially, broke mentally, broke bodily. He's just a weak human being.
Yeah, he really
but
is.
He's made of spaghetti. But you can't fuck with him.
He can shoot spaghetti out of his hands fast enough to break your legs.
Yeah, he snaps one dude's ankle.
I love there's a bit where he's fighting a whole bunch of guys and a guy stabs him and he takes it out and looks at it and there's just spaghetti coming out of him and then he takes the knife and stabs the guy. Oh man.
Dude, yeah.
That's great stuff.
That's a good film.
I like a bunch of this. Yeah, I just want to tighten up the soundtrack. I want to recast his roommate, but I don't really care as who. I don't even really care about the photographer guy.
He's forgettable. Very forgettable.
Yeah, he's a very menial character. Actually, his wife.
You put Jake Gyllenhaal in that character.
Sure,
but no one's paying for that.
Anybody, just get Clifton Collins Jr. He'd love to do it,
right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the flick, man. There's not a whole super lot going on with it. It's fun though.
It's a fun movie.
This is a very fun movie. Would you recommend this to people? If somebody's like, man, I saw the best movie. It was so terrible. I loved it so much.
So
would you be like, hey, but Spaghettiman though?
Yeah. So my recommendation would be, all right, you don't want to have a fucking night where you're thinking you have to watch a movie to understand it. You just want to giggle a little bit and have a good time or something.
Yeah. Spaghettiman.
Spaghettiman.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a listener recommendation by Dory Hackett.
Dory.
If I didn't say that up top, I thought I did. So there it is.
I don't think you did,
later.
But it is in here now. Dory, she, awesome pick.
Yeah, it's a good. It's good funny flick, man. I
had a good time with it.
I had a super good time with it. I wish that every bad movie that we ever watched for the show, I wish I had the ability to just buy them all. But I don't want to rent them and buy them. I don't want to do that. I'll have to have the urge. There are 3 that I am going to purchase, though, because I want to keep them. Tammy the T-Rex, probably this one, and Torque. I think I'm going to pick those 3 up that are just awful.
Just bad movies to have around.
I can't wait.
And just...
Have you seen or like consumed anything else media related that you think other people might be interested in?
I have been dull as fuck lately, so I don't have anything new. Anime series right now are kind of, in their lull because it's summertime.
Right.
So they don't produce, they don't push much out.
Gotcha. I kind of like it's a wintertime thing.
It's a wintertime thing
though.
Right now. It's like go outside and go do your thing.
Yeah, and then when it's cold outside, come stay inside and watch fanciful stories.
I feel like that's how anime's made.
Get out of your house. I think so.
Like oh, you're gonna be inside. Let's fill you up with some anime.
Look, yeah, baby.
It's like a little Death Note. Let's go.
I watched Bo Burnham's Inside. I like that a lot. I watched The Tomorrow War. And I gotta say, I liked it a whole lot more than I did. I don't know if we'll cover it on the podcast or not, but I'll put at least a brief review on Instagram.
Nice.
If you're into that sort of thing, I always tag all that stuff on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, interact with me. I don't. The only reason I don't get on there is because
it's a violent,
I just don't.
mental warfare up there.
It's a hostile place out there, and I just want to watch movies and get drunk.
It's like we just want to be chill and not be part of the mental war games going on Twitter and
I'm
shit.
good with that. I don't need no part of that.
That's crazy.
You guys knock yourselves out if you
crazy
want.
land up there. Just
seems like an exercise in futility.
It's like just come chill and watch a movie, a good movie and a bad movie, and just 2 movies.
It's almost like you guys are gonna.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk! We're a one-eyed Batman!
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
Charles Roven, Richard Suckle, or Megan Ellison, or Jonathan Gordon. One of those 4.
So the guy's name is Dick Suckle.